3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis I. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
All 4 RS-25 engines on the core stage and 2 solid rocket boosters now propelling the vehicle at 128 miles per hour.
But anyway, yeah, Artemis, one of the things, I'm 80 years old, right now, and, my horizon isn't that far out. And if you would have asked me back in the mid, after the shuttle, earlier in the 2000s there, 2011, I think was the last mission, and asked me around then when we're going to get back to the moon, I would think, oh God, that's not going to happen in my lifetime. But actually, there's a shot at it, and I'm very excited about it. And I'll tell you something too. When I heard that NASA was going to privatize the space program, and just lease rockets and capsules from private companies, I thought that there's no way. I was absolutely seized with that's the way we've always said it. There is no possible way that you can get into space unless it's a federal operation using taxpayer dollars. Absolutely certain of it. Well, how wrong could I be? I am so excited about SpaceX and Blue Origin because they have gone at a speed of development of rockets far beyond anything NASA is capable of, because NASA answers to the taxpayer through Congress. If, like that Starship, they've had those Starship failures on SpaceX. One Starship failure, if that had been under NASA's purview, NASA program, we would have not launched another. Congress would have meetings, and there would be committees, and there would be all this blame pointing. And God, I mean, it's a bureaucratic operation and has all the drag on it that any bureaucracy has. Whereas, Musk blows up a rocket, here's another check, make it happen. And the speed at which that has gone is incredible, absolutely incredible. And here's a shout out to Charlie Bolden, who's the NASA administrator at that time that made that decision, because I know he took a lot of flack from a lot of astronauts and NASA people that that this was a terrible decision. But looking back on it, it is putting us in space and probably on the moon much, much, much faster than anything NASA could have done under the old way.
If the leadership we have acquired through our investment is simply allowed to fade away, other nations will surely step in where we have faltered. I do not believe that would be in our best interests. Lack of review normally guarantees there will be overlooked requirements and unwelcome consequences. For this plan, that is worrisome.
That this budget proposal presents no challenges, has no focus, and is in fact a blueprint for a mission to nowhere. In this proposed budget, we find several billions of dollars allocated to developing commercial human access to low Earth orbit, based upon the assumptions and claims by those competing for this elusive contract. Although I strongly do support the goals and ideals of commercial access to space, the folks who propose such a limited architecture do not yet know what they don't know.
I wasn't a moonwalker, but I was thinking it can't work. There's no way. We didn't realize the power of billionaire and capitalism that, hey, this guy, Musk I'm talking about here. I know he's a lightning rod for a lot of criticism, but the guy's a genius when it comes to rockets, and what he did really has accelerated. And of course, Blue Origin has followed, has really, really accelerated our space program. There was no hope that I would ever live to see humans get into orbit around the moon, as might happen here hopefully, if they get the SLS going here, here in another month or two. But it just has accelerated the program so quickly that, in fact, I'm waiting for the next Starship attempt. I love watching those things. That's amazing to see something that gigantic going off. So yeah, I was wrong, and I admit it. I'm glad to see that Charlie made that decision.